Oh, this festive edition of Cinema Swirl is brought to you with the support of our jolly backers over at patreon.com/Cinema Swirl. Over on the Patreon right now is our Cinema Swirl review of Home Alone 3, an episode I am genuinely a bit nervous about people hearing. If you want to find out why I'm nervous, then why don't you head over to patreon.com/Cinema Swirl, become a $5 backer, and get instant access to every episode of Cinema Swirl. Plus, we've got our 2023 Year in Review episode coming to the Patreon, which was a real blast as we looked back at the films that we've covered on Cinema Swirl and Cinema Swirl across 2023. If any of that sounds of interest, then patreon.com/Cinema Swirl is the place to go. Right, let's get festive swirling.
Cinema Swirl! What's this in my Secret Santa here? Oh, it's One Fur Spleen. It's episode number 113. It's the Santa Claus. Hello once again, it's me, your old pal, the captain of the sleigh, Kevin Mann, joined as I am always by my OT po-ho-ho, Sam Chaplin. How are you doing on this most festive, auspicious occasion, i.e. is Christmas special, holiday special? Can't even call it a holiday special anymore. And it's the Santa Claus with Tim Allen. Hello.
Hello. Kevin, I'm going to say it, whether I'm allowed to or not. Merry Christmas and happy holidays and hello.
And Die Hard, yeah? Just a couple of guys at Christmas, that's all it is.
Now, I feel like over the last 12 months, maybe 24 months, I've picked up on your rhymes a bit more and I've had more of a go at them.
Oh, if you got it, are you like Channel 4 with the alternate Christmas speech? Like, you know, instead of the Queen or the King, you get to hear Sam Chaplin have a go at a rhyme.
Sorry, I don't mean I'm going to try one. I mean I'm having a go at what you've said. Not having a go, just analyze.
Sam, it's the Christmas episode. I've seen episodes of EastEnders wait longer before they descended into madness than this.
One fur spleen.
Mm-hmm. It's a disappointing gift.
Fur. It's like a furry spleen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a fur spleen.
Like a fur.
Like it's not a real spleen. He made me
like
a little
like a knitted, like a woolen.
Have you ever been on Etsy?
Oh, you could absolutely get some fur spleens on Etsy.
Of course you can. Shit, I hope Joe doesn't listen to this before Christmas Day. Fuck.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Okay, I understand now, but I just needed to get to the bottom of what you were actually trying to say. You know, I was just trying to...
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
His hands are up, and if his audio, it gets a little quiet in your ear now, it's because Sam Chaplin is backing away in real time.
No, look, mate, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this, all right? I'm not having
Sam,
a go.
35 years on this earth, I haven't lost a fight at Christmas yet, and I'm not going to start now. Now, would you have your turkey? Would you open your gifts? And would you get on with it?
All right. Welcome to Festive Swirl. Here we are.
Yay!
And we're doing a film that I've only just figured out the pun of.
What's the pun then, Sam?
Well, so this is, and I don't think it's like Peter Kay's Phoenix Nights. I don't think it's actually Tim Allen's The Santa Claus, but it is The Santa Claus starring Tim Allen. But the clause is like a clause in a contract. I'd never
like the clause that
says,
I know you don't want to have Tim Allen in your movie, but he signed a contract and we have to.
Yes.
We simply have to. And all of your favourite Christmas songs now have to get changed to have the sound effect instead. So when you're listening to Krista Berg, it won't go na 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 na. It'll go a spaceman came traveling.
I remember, right. I think I remember when I got an app on one of my early iPhones that you could load samples into and play them like a beatbox. And one of the noises that you did when I pointed it at you was that, and it was quite fun to sample it.
It's one of my favourite noises, and far be it from me to insist that we put on one of the only Christmas movies I remember seeing in the cinema at Christmas time as a child, with a guy who could generously be described as right-wing and no longer welcome at the Christmas table here in Cinema Swirl. But I love that noise.
Yeah.
And that is why we're doing the movie. I love that noise.
In fact, Kevin, could we just get a clean take of you doing the noise so that anyone who wants to sample that into a MIDI keyboard and play Christmas songs with that as the basis for all the notes? If you can try and hit a middle C, but there's no pressure.
Okay. I'm going to put one finger in my ear for authenticity.
Okay, here we go. And there we go. So just take that, load it into your sample-based keyboard device.
They said there'd be snow at Christmas. They said there'd be peace on earth. But instead... it just kept on...
Well...
My dad was so happy when I stopped believing in Santa Claus because he's like, great, he's going to listen to Greg Lake now. And we've got a nice window before he stops believing in God to really enjoy this.
But unfortunately, we have to still believe in Tim Allen, who, again, I know very little about.
You said he wouldn't be coming this Christmas. I only came because you said Tim wouldn't be here. I still have a restraining order. Just don't let Tim anywhere near here. Oh no, he's here.
Well, it begs the question, what's the deal with Tim Allen? What is he? I know he was on a sitcom.
Yes. Do you ever watch Home Improvement?
No.
It's where Pamela Anderson got her start.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe it's what caused the upturn in DIY enthusiasm across the world. Before then, no one cared about doing it themselves. No. But once Home Improvement came around, oh boy. And that was a very popular sitcom. I know because it's one of those sitcoms that I've inexplicably watched probably 100 episodes of, despite never having any agency over that. Like I never said, would you put on Home Improvement, Mum and Dad? I just found, and they weren't like, oh, we'll put on Home Improvement from you. Just as a child found yourself inevitably, like, Death and Taxes when you're out. As a child, Home Improvement. Maybe Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I never watched it, and I was not even really aware of it until I sort of met you, basically.
And he was always going on about Tim the Toolman Taylor, non-stop, really. Sam recommended me Stuart Lee, and I recommended him Tim the Toolman Taylor.
So he's a sitcom. I'm trying to find like an equivalent for my own. He's the sort of Robert Lindsay of America, right? Is that the thing?
I beg your pudding?
The guy from My Family, the dad from the
fucking hell, Sam. Don't you come at me with My Family? I will accept 2.4 children or better.
All right. Look, he's a big star, been in a sitcom. Yeah. That carries a lot of cachet in America to the point where he is a movie star. He's Buzz Lightyear.
There you go.
I'm very familiar with that. Other than that, I know nothing of the man. You've said some like right-wing stuff. So you've not said some right-wing stuff. You've said...
No. That's behind the paywall.
Patreon.com/CinemaSwell for the truth.
Find out the truth, about vaccines and the shape of the planet. You have to give us $5 though, otherwise, sorry, secret's safe with me.
You're not getting in. But is he a figure of controversy? Has he done stuff wrong?
I don't know enough. I know that he was on some show recently that was like Last Man Standing, where it was kind of like, where have all America's real men gone? The awful ones.
Yeah, sure, that kind of thing. Yeah,
the ones we hate. And he's like, I should be able to drink a beer and insert whatever the hate in your heart generates on a given day.
Yeah.
Now, I've not followed Tim's career closely. I just know that he is... he is sitting at the right-hand side of the long Christmas table that we will hopefully not be making eye contact with him.
Okay.
But even though he's a figure of controversy, this movie and the fact that he's Buzz Lightyear ensures that he has a lengthy career ahead of him, because there's been a bunch of these Santa Claus movies.
All starring Tim Allen?
All starring Tim. I'm not sure. They did like a series as well on Disney+.
Wow.
But the thing is, the way things are going at the moment, they've probably taken it down now. And I'm sure I will get a lovely Christmas present in the form of an email or a DM on Christmas morning where I could unwrap and find out the actual horrible thing that he's no doubt done.
Sure.
And I leave it to my Christmas elves to wrap that up and send it to me at an appropriate time. 2 in the morning on a Saturday is good, usually.
Yes. Now, I don't know much about what this film is.
Have you seen the poster before?
Is it just Tim Allen dressed as Santa Claus? But there's a twist. There's some
There
difference.
is a twist here. There is a twist here.
This one didn't go to the vote. This sailed straight in. You've not had a choice.
No. We overindulged with Christmas democracy the last couple of years, and all it did was make a lot of our listeners in America second guess themselves about their favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah, so we're not doing that again. We might do that again. But that means I've not had to Google the poster to put it in the vote.
To put a vote up.
Artwork. So I don't even know. He's just dressed as Santa, isn't he?
The one bit I'll give you to hang on to here is that in an age in the 90s where, not to say everything needed an explanation, but as a child of the 90s, I very much appreciated, dare I say, anticipated lore and backstory and explanations as to why things are the way they are.
Yeah.
Hence, anytime we were doing religion in school, I had endless questions about the devil, which is why I left my Catholic education with the absolute misunderstanding that there's no such thing as hell or the devil.
Oh.
Still got the fire and brimstone, but there is no cause or root of it. And I was like, mate, come on, Bowser's got to be doing something here, right?
Where's he come from?
So this gives the lore and backstory thirsty children of the 90s a bit of Santa canon. Okay. And no, that's not to be confused with the Santa canon, which is...
Fires presents at all the children.
Yeah, as many as you can, efficient.
So my understanding for most of my life with this film that I don't really know much about was that he was just Santa Claus, and he was the Santa Claus. He is Santa Claus. So I thought it was just a generic Christmas film, but now
the pun has unveiled itself, and it was in plain sight the whole time.
It was, and it sounds like a contractual pun, and that he is under some kind of obligation to be Santa Claus because he signed a deal that he didn't understand.
Sam, I love contract law in my movies.
Sure. Yeah. So I think maybe it's that. So maybe a kind of liar type situation.
What kind of contract could you sign with Santa Claus? Because, in essence, you and I signed a now null and void contract with Santa, which is to not be naughty. That was, and we would get gifts. And then we kind of realised that probably how you acted had very little to do with your gift ratio.
And listener, we've breached that contract. Am I right? Yeah. High five.
Multiple times.
Yeah. But has Tim Allen... Right, okay, here's my guess. He's corporate dad, right? He's like, Dad, why are you never here for the Christmas soccer game? And he's like, I've got business to do. And then...
I'll be there, I promise.
Yeah. And he's not there. He's too busy doing deals. And then the little kid is like, Dad, because I know you're doing business, I've written you a contract. He's like, oh, that's cute. And he signs it without looking at it. But the contract is actually legally binding, and it's that he should be Santa Claus, or he should ensure that Santa Claus arrives on Christmas Day night.
So you're kind of assuming on the back of this that Tim Allen will be fulfilling some of Santa's contractual obligations, either in a line management capacity or in a direct role himself.
Unless he becomes employed by Father Christmas himself.
They're called the Elf Clause, Sam.
No. But then Santa does have helpers who appear in his guise in order to be everywhere and entertain the local children.
Did they tell you that when you went to see Santa? Did they actually say that to you? Because I think that is a good lie, but that was never, no one ever uncorked that particular vintage where they're like, oh yeah, there's loads of helpers around. They're like, no, that is the Santa. He is here in Mullingar, and you will respect him. It's
a kind of thing as you get a little bit older and you're like starting to get, a little bit cynical and be like, that can't be the actual guy. But it's a kind of stopgap lie, All right, you rumbled us.
We're easing you in.
That's not Santa, but that man is employed by Santa, who is real. And then you get a couple of extra years of, okay, I've cottoned on to the real game here.
It is the shoehorn to expose the great lie, basically, is what it is. It's easing you in there. And if you don't grab that shoehorn at an appropriate time, you'll be 13 years old, one of your parents will grab you and go, wake up! And then that'll be... And that's when they say woke Christmas, Sam. That's what they mean.
Oh, yeah, because you have been awoken by...
Don't like it.
No.
I'd rather go back to sleep, mate, if you don't mind. No, thanks. What's that? Woke? Bad? No, thanks.
I don't know who else is in this or who's done it or what the tone of it is or if this is actually for children or not.
Oh, you don't even know if it's... Well, no, I've spilt the beans there. I told you I went to see it as a child.
Yeah, it must be child-friendly.
I did see Batman Returns and The Predator, and the only James Bond movie I can think of where someone gets eviscerated, i.e. License to Kill, all within a few months window of each other when I was a very, very young boy. So maybe that's not the greatest piece of evidence for you to submit.
No, but I think in my head this is sort of washed together with, I think there's a Billy Bob Thornton Father Christmas film where it's just like the piece of
Bad
shit twat
Santa.
or something.
Bad Santa.
Yeah.
They got a bad actor and a bad man to play him. It's meta.
So there's that, but I assume Tim Allen is, either bad or incompetent in his role as Santa. I don't think it's just like he's just Santa and he's great.
You imagine he'll be bumbling?
Bumbling, maybe with some sass, maybe like, oh God, how did I get into this?
Slime? Do you think Santa will get slimed?
You know what? There's not much slime at Christmas, is there?
No, and even in the 90s when there was a lot of slime everywhere.
Yeah. I guess snow is a kind of slime.
It's slush is like the least appealing slime.
Yeah.
No one's got a slush fetish. Come on, Sam, wake up.
Freezing
No
cold.
one's going into an ASMR video where they're like, oh, look, I've got all this cold slush. It's got all fucking petrol in it.
It'll be one person's thing, and that's okay. That's fine.
And you can email me as well. It's fine.
Yeah.
Get it off your chest, man.
Yes.
Get it off your chest.
Get it off the rest of your body, please.
Please.
So, look, maybe bumbling, maybe snarky.
Oh.
There might be some snark going on.
Well, when this guy, little boy in his lap, and he's like, "Why don't you fuck off, little boy?" How about that?
Yeah, maybe some of that. But I other than that, I'm guessing this is some kind of contracts gotcha where, he signed up and they've got the rights to his image and voice for the rest of time. It's that kind of deal.
It makes me wonder, though, Sam, in absence of a lot of Christmas movies, what's your default Santa when you were growing up? Because for me, this was it,
Coca-Cola man.
What?
The Coca-Cola Santa. The holidays are coming. Big truck
isn't
Santa.
he a fair weather Pepsi fan after all? Sam, you've done it. 19 minutes in, you've ruined Christmas.
I'm so sorry. But yeah, that was my kind of go-to image of Santa. He's the Coca-Cola guy,
That's
I've
wild.
had other screen Santas that I've seen, surely. Yeah.
Who?
Well, some of the ones,
So what, none of the cast of The Great Escape count. English man.
No, you see Santa about, mate. I've seen him.
I've seen him.
I know him. He's a good guy. Yeah, nice man.
Nice man.
Nice man.
I think you'll enjoy this. It's festive. It's the festive season.
Okay. Yeah.
Holly and jolly.
I'm looking forward to a nice festive movie.
I really enjoyed this when I saw it as a kid, and it was a very rare time because I think I was at an age where I think my brother either didn't believe in Santa or was considered to be a bit old for it because it is a rated G/U movie. And it was one of the very rare times I remember as a child where it's you're going to the cinema and we're taking you to a movie for you. And I was I didn't even know this. I wasn't oh, I want to go see the Santa Claus. Look what's out. You're going to see that. So I remember feeling quite the prince that I was going to this special movie that was made just for me. And I really enjoyed myself, but I think it's because I got attention. And then at the end I was presents! Fuck! So that was where I was thinking that maybe the excitement came from. I've not seen it since I was in short pants. What year did it come out? I'm going to find out it was 2002 when I was 14 or something.
That feels like a mid-90s deal, doesn't it? Just from the fact that it's Tim Allen.
I was 6 years old.
Oh.
Which, legend has it, that was when I was at my cutest.
Right.
Cutest at 6, brief window of cuteness when I was 31, then stopped. There was nothing in between.
Has this got special memories for you then? Or just on that basis?
I'm worried now because over on the Patreon, we had kind of a bit of a flip reverse situation. It wasn't a reverse swirl.
No.
We did do a runaway vote bad Christmas movie sequel spectacular, which Home Alone 3 ran wild with. And not to bury the lead, and I don't know how the editors come out on that yet.
I've been very liberal with what goes in. It's all in there. I didn't take anything out.
Okay, all right. All I'm saying is This is the type of movie, and at the time I saw this, I don't know its content. And,
Okay.
we learned with Home Alone 3 that things happen in unexpected places.
Sure.
And if you've listened to that episode already, and I use the word formative, you're going to get a chill down your spine. So I don't know how formative this movie was.
And if you want to find out what we're talking about, patreon.com/cinemaswell is the place to go.
You don't need to.
Well,
yeah.
sign up. You can listen to the other episodes.
No, it's Christmas coming up. You need to save money. You don't want to hear that. You don't need to hear that.
Don't do that.
And in lieu of my now full-throated worry and anxiety about this movie, you don't need to listen to the rest of this. You've got stuff on, haven't you? You need to get down to the Christmas light show, haven't you? The BBC Radio Lincolnshire doing the lights in town. You better go see them turn. There won't be lights in Nottingham though this Christmas.
No. As Kevin has enjoyed reminding me.
I don't know why I find it funny, because honestly, it's bad. It is genuinely bad. But you have hit upon the notion of waste with something I find very funny.
For listeners who don't know the context of this, Nottingham City Council has run out of money and has declared itself essentially bankrupt. And I live in Nottingham, and therefore we're only getting essentially. Kevin's really laughing so hard. Why? I mean, it's a bad situation.
It is. I'm laughing because I was this very close, extremely close to texting Sam unprompted, too many long lunches at Hooters then. And I didn't because I was worried if his partner saw that we might think that we were having some sort of bawdy talk.
Out of context, it's a weird text message to receive. Yeah. I'm not sure how we got into. You managed to find some way to bring up Nottingham City Council running out of money.
No. There will be. That's Christmas lights are an essential service. There.
Yeah.
Said it.
As long as we have some lights on, it's okay.
And look, Sam, if fucking Derby and Leicester are there fucking showing off their wares,
giving it the big one. Yeah.
I wouldn't have it. You're a fine town.
Thank you. Yes.
You're a city, even, actually.
We are a city, yeah.
Fine city.
Nottingham City Council, which has famously run out of money and declared itself essentially bankrupt. Not bankrupt.
Essentially bankrupt. And that as well is important. It's Christmas and I'm leaving the politics out of it. I did not say anyone was morally bankrupt. I know nothing of the politics, and I don't want to bring it up at the Christmas dinner table now. But anyway, your turkey's getting cold.
I did love the wording of it, that it was like, we're not bankrupt, but we will spend this many millions over our budget. It will happen. That's
Christmas though, Sam, isn't it? Like, how many people had their father stand up at the Christmas dinner table and say, you know what, I simply don't have a Furby for you. I don't. And I won't either. Tomorrow morning, I won't.
I almost want to see a festive Christmas movie where Nottingham City Council is the protagonist and is just trying to save Christmas for Nottingham and switch on some of the bloody lights,
Sam, you and I bloody know that one of the reasons why they are essentially bankrupt is because they were making too many movies. And it's not what those funds were for.
No, but that's
they were discussing it at one of their famously long lunches. If we don't support it, it'll leave. The franchise will leave the UK.
Yes, but that's not what this is about. This is about Tim Allen and your formative memories of Tim Allen's The Santa Claus. I'm worried now that there might be stuff. I don't know what's in this. You don't know.
Either.
We don't know.
I love Christmas. That'll be it. It'll be at the end of it. It'll be like, you know what? I think my love of Christmas might come.
Yeah.
From Tim Allen's The Santa Claus.
And that's okay.
And perhaps my love of contract law as well. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? Sam, it's the wonderful time of year where we burn the mailbag because it's not festive enough. And then we take out Christmas mailbag.
Oh, yes. Welcome to Merry Christmas, all right? Happy holiday.
From us to ye,
Whatever you're doing, have a good time.
Whatever you're doing, wherever you are.
Yeah.
This Christmas, don't forget to spend lots of money on the sales. They're happening now. Please
Patreon.com/cinemaswell.
There is not a sale on.
There's not
That is flat.
And likely never will be.
Inflation proof.
Yes. Thank you as ever for your messages to cinemaswirl@gmail.com. Christmas message. Well, I believe Kevin has a Christmas message for me, but we'll get to that after this. Christmas correspondence comes in from Connor, who writes the following. Dear Sam and Kevin, you have been invited to a Christmas party. And I thought, oh, thanks, Connor. No. You have been invited to a Christmas party where all the other guests are the protagonists of the films watched on Cinema Swirl throughout 2023.
Ooh.
Who are you dreading being sat beside for the Christmas meal, and who are you hoping to team up with for the gauntlet of Christmas games after? And then Connor writes something that I think is Irish.
Oh no, don't do this. Don't.
Oh.
No, I'm not saying don't do Irish. That's good, obviously.
Okay.
Don't you.
Don't me try
You're
and
going to do it, aren't you? You're going to go, aren't you? Yeah, go on.
Le gach de goy.
It's not, it's not that bad.
Could be worse.
Actually, I'm kind of pissed off that you pronounce that better than most English people pronounce my very easy to pronounce surname. What the fuck?
Kevin Mahone.
Fuck off.
Cinema Swirl's Kevin Mahone.
Maho-ho-ho.
Thank you, Connor, for your question. So, festive party guests from Cinema Swirl from this year. I was thinking it would actually be a tactical decision to invite Edward Cullen because he wouldn't eat anything.
Oh, that's a very good idea.
More pigs in blankets for me because he's not gobbling away.
Is it my misremembrance of this, but did he, in fact, have a family that were good at... I know they cooked, but they couldn't eat. But were they good at cooking? I remember they broke a bowl. I can't remember if they were good at it, though. They liked cooking.
They liked the novelty of cooking.
It.
They liked cooking. So they would help out. They'd probably do the washing up and stuff, I think.
I was going to say, you're immortal. Do the washing up.
Yeah, come on. You got time on your hands. You can...
And for me this year, I want my theme of Christmas to be Christmas 2009. So I want everything to be very pale and sparkly. So they'd be very welcome in my house.
Oh, absolutely. So that's my core guest pick, I think. Although the full Monty lads would be a laugh.
Yeah, no, that was it for me. It was Mark Addy because I want to see what would happen if I tried to smoke a cigarette in the middle of a Christmas dinner. I don't smoke, and I would just be fun to try, wouldn't it? Like, be different.
Yeah. Oh, and as for the gauntlet of Christmas games, I think Falcor, no messing around. If you got him on your team, you're winning everything. Or if not, you're just flying away on a dragon dog.
Sorry, the surviving boys from Saving Private Ryan. I'd be like, come on, guys. It ain't exactly Normandy. It's fucking Articulate. Get your fingers out. You've done a lot harder than this.
Oh, and you could have Hal 9000? Hal
yes.
He can play the tunes. You just say, Hal, mate, put a bit of wham on, and then it'll come through the speakers.
Sorry, something went wrong. When you're ready, give it another go. You know what? I can't believe we got this far with the spirit of Christmas. Rambo, would you come in out of that cold? Do you not see the candle there in the window? That means that anyone's allowed in. Anyone.
I mean, it would be a very different film if someone... Well, firstly, if it had been set at Christmas time, and if someone had just said, mate, come in here, we'll get you a meal, we'll get you a nice drink, you stay with us tonight, all right? So many lives would have been spared, which is
I know,
what we've got.
And also as well, just because if it was snowing and cold, they'd be like, I don't want to do a manhunt, let them go. Like, they just let them go. Like, they just give up. Everything's better at Christmas, seriously,
So there we go. Thank you, Connor, for your question.
And I would have an auxiliary Christmas party for Roddy Piper and the misshapen monsters from Night of the Living Dead.
Yes.
Because I just feel like they might kill the vibe a bit.
Oh, I mean, that guy from the start of Night of the Living Dead would spend the whole Christmas meal, moaning about his mum and being like, oh, she's fucking... Even though she's literally dead. Oh, no, she's not dead. Someone else. Anyway, right. They're all dead in that film anyway, because it's Night of the Living Dead. But they're all alive. Thank you, Connor, for your question. Now, Kevin, you had a festive question for me. I understand you've got something for me, Kevin, so maybe you'd like to share that with everyone.
A little question here under the Christmas tree at cinemaswirl@gmail.com. But I was going to ask you, and I want to place this delicately now.
Okay.
Because I don't want to assume anyone has embraced moving down a category in an age bracket select multiple choice when you're applying for a survey online.
Sure.
But now that you're no longer a young adult and you are in fact an adult, I was wondering, are there any little things that happen at Christmas that either A, you like more than you did when you were younger, even in the last couple of years, or that you look forward to more, or you have a bit more responsibility for now that you're a bit more grown up now at the Christmas time now as a fine man. Fine man is such a better thing than fine young man. I'm glad that I've leveled up and you've leveled up in that respect.
A fine man.
Fine man.
He's a fine
That's
man.
it.
He's fine.
Oh, get the document out for the funeral. That on the tombstone.
Right, yeah, sorry.
A fine man. There you go. Thank you.
It's on.
Oh no! Imagine if I died at Christmas, though. Everyone would be double booked.
Oh, but he was a fine man. He was fine. It's a good question. What I realised, and this is quite sweet, is that Christmas ultimately it's about the kids in it, and what they like. And since Stanley has come into my life, my focus for Christmas is Stanley's Christmas.
Oh, you're getting him one of the special dog boxes.
We've already got him some special Christmas toys and there's special Christmas treat bags. And honestly, last Christmas, I got the novel. We talked about this. I got the novel Coronavirus and couldn't go anywhere for Christmas. But to have that Christmas with, sure, my partner, but also Stanley. I realised as I was saying it, it's like, as a little family unit with a little boy who was so excited about Christmas and all the wrapping paper and stuff, that was very sweet. So I got a little taste of, a different world. But he is a dog. He is ultimately a dog, not a child.
Do you do any shits anywhere?
Oh, loads. Yeah.
Okay, right.
Couldn't smell them, mate. Had COVID, so it was...
that's not so bad.
Played an absolute blinder.
Be a different story this year now when you can smell all them turds. Now, just giving you the fair warning now. I'll tell you, nothing like the rush of getting both the recycling and the normal bin out in time for Christmas.
Yeah.
Which means, put all the gifts right in the bin, straight, scrape them all in there. It's great. I got a full bin. You can give me a bin load of presents this year, and I can throw them all out
instantly.
No problem.
You know?
And you might think, oh, that's awful, but no, I'm making some scavenger's day, is what I'm doing. Somebody took the time to go to the dump on Christmas Day. Assuming my bin gets emptied on Christmas, well, probably won't. No. Well, your bin definitely won't be because they've bankrupted Nottingham Town Council, haven't they? So
it could be my last ever.
Denied.
Well, but that's essential service, isn't it?
Not on Christmas.
No, not on Christmas. No,
not on Christmas.
So is that the main thing that you now enjoy about Christmas? Now that you're an adult,
I feel I've gained the introspection now of becoming an adult in the sense that I feel I could go back in time to my dad when he would be stressing about the bins, aka his one job he had to do around Christmas time, and be like, "I get it, man." Because in this scenario, when I travel back in time, I'm old like Joe Biden. And I'm like, I get it, man. And also as well, I realized in the last couple of years that I spent a long portion of my life being adamant about turkey on Christmas Day.
Yes.
And as I'm entering year 4 of not having turkey on Christmas Day, I didn't even like turkey that much. What was it going on about? What the heck? And as children, I feel me and my brother both did a great disservice to our mother being like, no, if we don't have turkey, Santa will die. I'm like, you could have had salmon. Been fine.
Just having fucking salmon, mate. Come on.
See, it's built into you as well.
Get a grip. Look, salmon.
No, the teriyaki salmon sliders at Hooters are good. Yeah, they are good. And I know
they don't have salmon sliders.
I know that we can't have musical lessons for anyone in Nottingham anymore because of that, but they were good.
Kevin, they don't have salmon sliders. They have men wearing salmon-coloured sliders, the footwear. That's what they have. And they just wander and go, way. That's their Christmas tradition. Salmon on Christmas. No, you know what?
I'm not doing that. I'm doing lamb.
Right, okay.
I'd say, because I'm a Christian and I want to eat the spirit, the Holy Spirit, on Christmas Day. And then I will finally reveal my true form on St. Stephen's Day.
Yes, but I still feel the magic of Christmas.
You still want turkey?
Still want turkey.
I wish this movie was bad because that'd be a great segue. I'd be like, well, I'm going to get your plate ready, son. Why don't you load up some of them mashed taters and marrow fat peas? Because I think it's time that we finally settle down and find out what this goddamn Santa Claus is all about. Let's go do a cinema. Sam, initial gut reaction to the Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho.
Way! I was trying to do
Was there a question mark at the end of that? Because that's what it's often referred to as a confused grunt.
Okay.
So I don't know if that meant that your reaction to the movie was one that involved a question mark.
Maybe it does, but it's a positive question, you know? Way?
Now, I do resent on Christmas of all times you answering a question with a question, even if that is a question-style grunt. But I'm ascertaining that you had a positive time while watching this Christmas movie.
I will say this was exactly what I needed this Christmas. It was a nice, easy watch, an easy time.
That's what the undercover cop said to Tim Allen when he arrested him for smuggling a pound of cocaine into the country.
Have you done some research?
That's exactly what I needed this Christmas. I've got my collar, as they say. The Mountie has got his man, so to speak, figuratively and literally. You're going to jail. But I wanted to know, festive-wise, against a backdrop, did this increase festiveness? Was this festive adjacent? Is the tree up? Has Stanley got a little Santa hat? Take it off, it's an animal welfare concern.
Right, so let's tackle those in reverse order. No Santa hat.
Thank you.
No costuming of any sort.
Good.
A winter jacket to keep him warm when he goes for a cold walk. I think that's all right.
It's functional.
That's all right. Nothing decorative.
You are making up for the missteps of breeders past who didn't give him the good winter coat.
No.
Biologically. So you had to do it.
Yeah.
Literally.
No. He's got a winter coat. On the morning of the day that I watched this, we went out for a walk in the snow with Stanley in his little winter coat, and we had a lovely time. The tree is up. The tree is up.
The moon is bright.
The moon is bright. The tree is up. It's Christmas, and we watched a Christmas movie in the evening on Christmas, feeling Christmassy. So that probably helped my warm, fuzzy feelings around this, because it was set against the backdrop of fucking Christmas, mate, and it's snowing. So
yeah, that thing is like you get the layered Christmas, don't you? Because similarly, had a little walk. It was cold, wasn't snowing. Started watching the movie. The tree had been put up, and mulled wine had also been made.
Ooh.
Then it started snowing at the end of watching the movie. That's like, I feel like it's besides the point now, the content of this movie, because it feels like we've achieved a level of Christmassiness that, dare I say, the last 2 years of festive swirls have swung admirably and missed entirely. Feels like it, you know?
This is a fucking Christmas movie at Christmas, and it felt Christmassy. Thank you.
Fuck yes. Yeah. And it don't get more Christmassy than this, mate. Opening up on an adults-only office Christmas party.
Yes.
I want to know if you've ever been to a Christmas party. Did they have one when you very briefly worked in a funeral parlour? And did they put hats on the dead bodies?
I didn't last until Christmas, so I don't know what that would have been like.
A moribund affair, I would have imagined.
Sure, but I've been to my fair share of office Christmas parties. They're not the same as the one here at B&R Toys. I've never had a Christmas party that takes place in the office of the place.
Yeah, there's like rules about that, isn't there?
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a good idea.
I mean, you're going to have to come in the next day to a sticky office, aren't you?
Yeah,
it's
gross.
It's going to be a gross office indeed. I have to say, Sam, hand on heart, I was alongside with the rest of them, whooping and cheering. Let's give it up for the Midwestern distribution team. Absolutely fucking slaying it this year. Making, honestly, the Northwestern distribution team look like a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah, you can see them in the background looking sheepish. Being like, oh, we've fucking fucked it.
Get out of here.
Yeah. And there's Tim Allen's here to take... to take credit for all these record sales. And he's like, oh, and hey, we're all here having a great time at Christmas. That's why that guy over there, he's got his secretary sitting on his lap. It was a different time, all right? It was a different time, and it was fine.
Infidelity was encouraged in the corporate environment back in those days.
It was a laugh. All right. What you've got to remember is that it was just a laugh, and we were all having a laugh. I mean, it is like similar to Jingle All the Way. We've got Toy Man. No, Arnie wasn't a toy man.
No, he was a mattress man, if I recall. Or maybe he was a bed frame man, but he was
in the bed zone.
I did have a recurring thought of Arnold being interested in how I sleep for a few years, so I'm pretty sure he was bed adjacent at the very least.
Sure. I mean, if he had his Christmas party in a warehouse full of beds, I mean, that's a disaster waiting to happen.
I mean, some people aren't cheapskates and they're going to get the bouncy castle, aren't they? Other people put it in the mattress factory and they think that's just as well. But, you know, whatever. That's why I left the mattress company. Let me tell you, Sam, Chris Rea wouldn't lie about traffic when he's driving home for Christmas.
No, but we quickly established that Tim Allen is a real sack of shit.
He's the classic 90s dad, divorced as fuck, lying nonstop. I'm driving home for Christmas, yeah, and I don't want to see my kids. Take a look at the driver next to me. He don't want none of that shit either.
Can I make a point about some Christmas music that isn't that song? But you know the one that's like, Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. That's not Christmassy. That's like fucking horror music.
That's Nightmare During Christmassy. That's what that is.
Get that out of my Christmas. I don't want... I don't want that on my Christmas.
How about... God rest ye merry gentlemen, nothing you'll say. You'll get no presents from God on the morn of Christmas Day. An apple and an orange is all that you can have.
It's Christmas, mate. I don't want a dirge, all right? I don't want a bloody dirge. I want some bops. I want some jauntiness.
I know Dirge's early albums weren't great, but they're one of the pioneers of the genre. That 99 third album classic, come on. Dirge.
There must be a band called Dirge. There'll be a band called
Dirge.
Yeah. There'll be about 3.
And we've just insulted them now and all.
There'll be Dirge and then Dirge brackets UK. Which... Anyway, right. Divorced dad getting home to his ex-wife and child, and fucking hell, the bowl cut on this kid. I mean, combine this with Home Alone 3 over on Patreon, and we've got some kids with some fucking 90s haircuts. My word.
Look, there's going to be no puddings this Christmas in my household because I can't look at that bowl now without thinking of some poor child who's been given an absolute just, come on, kids, bully this one. Look at his stupid fucking hair. And then mom comes in, she's basically got the same haircut, and it's fine for you. Divorced mom in the 90s movie. I love this. Is like the American dream in the mid-90s. I've got it all. A big house, a kid, a divorced wife. It's probably the first time I heard about divorce. Because in like 1994, I'm pretty sure that's when Ireland had the divorce referendum, and I went and I saw the Santa Claus in the Mullingar cinema, so I was hyper exposed to it at that point.
Yeah. I love how much Tim Allen is being a jerk about the fact that the stepdad, who's the guy from Beverly Hills Cop,
yeah,
he's that guy.
The judge.
Judge, whatever his surname is. How annoyed he is that this guy is a psychiatrist and that's like he's almost Scientologist level in how much he hates the profession of psychiatry. He's like,
and it is alarming that this movie came out. He has a slightly troubled backstory and he's a big name in Hollywood and he's not a member of the church in Scientology ever. That's like, I mean, I don't want to say like that the lads aren't pulling their weight down there at the Dianetics Centre, but like, for fuck's sake, you can't get Tim Allen with a fucking personality test. That man is begging for a personality test and some hard sci-fi.
Yeah.
I feel this is really bad of me, but I lost a lot of sympathy for this boy who's having the difficult time of having to go between houses at Christmas time in the midst of a divorce with a dad who doesn't believe in therapy. But that's sad enough.
Yeah.
The boy literally being like, you're always fighting and I feel your relationship is not in the place it should be. Boy, the movie is doing this complaining for you. You can be quiet and garner a lot more sympathy. You just, if you're walking around going, this haircut is awful. I mean, I know. Yeah. The principle of photography is established.
Yeah, show don't tell, kid. Come on. But little Charlie, the little boy, has been told by Neil, the no-good fucking shrink, that Father Christmas is more of a state of mind. And I'm like, oh, come on, mate. Bloody psychiatrist ruining Christmas.
Half of them are crackers to begin with. Eh? half of them are crackers to begin with.
Because Christmas. So that right.
Oh, right, yeah.
Was that intentional?
No, I was just using the most British way to do
crackers.
To crackers.
Yeah. Oh, telling us that Santa Claus is a state of mind. That's crackers. That is.
That is.
Merry. Right. So there's this whole thing about Santa Claus and whether Santa Claus is real or not. And the kid does not want to stay with Tim Allen, which I think is understandable. He's literally like, do I gotta stay? Mom, I don't want to be here with Tim Allen.
He looks over his shoulder. What did you get me for Christmas, Tim Allen, Dad? DIY. I mean, it is the bit of a dream, though, I said that he gets 2 Christmases this way. You know, he gets 2 Christmases, and this Christmas, he gets boy Christmas, which means you get a glass of milk and a glass of gravy for dinner.
So I fell hook, line, and sinker for a visual gag here. Like, I fully fell for it. We pan across, like, a lovely American Christmas dinner, and then slowly zoom back to reveal that that's just on telly and that Tim Allen has made Le Grill. He's just completely fucked it.
He's going in the deep end, Sam. If you're not comfortable, don't go in with a turkey. That's hard mode. I wouldn't go next near turkey. Turkey, the sarcastic brother of chicken. It's much easier to get along with relative. Come on.
But Tim Allen, ahead of his time, has followed the TikTok life hack of basting his turkey with a fire extinguisher, which actually does make a very juicy, succulent turkey. So try that.
I like to stuff my turkey with batteries because the Chinese spyware on my phone told me to. That's what I do. This was Joe walked in at this point. She's like, "Is this like what steamed hams is based off of?" Because he was.
I mean, kind of.
He was visually. You could ascribe a lot of that to what we were seeing here, minus the Northern Lights.
Now, Kevin, you've been to America before, right? You've been to the US of A.
Sorry, Sam, those of us who've been like to call it the States.
Sorry, Kevin.
And I've been there.
You've been to the States. I've been to the States.
I have, yeah. The United ones, I'll have you know.
Yeah,
thank you.
But I've never been to a Denny's. And so therefore, my understanding of Denny's is only from media, usually television and film. I would fucking love to have a Christmas dinner at a diner in America. I think that would be great. And this kid doesn't know what's good for him. Like, this is a real treat. That's a boy's Christmas.
That is boy Christmas.
Yeah.
You can drink milk and gravy at Denny's, as far as I've been led to believe. Like, most of what I know about Denny's, I've pieced together from various interviews with wrestlers over the years who've mentioned it in one way, shape, or form. I will say, in terms of a definitely paid advertising spot, this is an intriguing one from Denny's. We're like, oh, yeah, feature us prominently. And it's like...
We've got fuck all.
It's like, they're like, we don't have anything. And everyone who's here is like 50 Shades of Shit Dad being like, I'm all alone on Christmas.
I fucked up as well.
The only thing worse than being alone on Christmas is being with my kid on Christmas. And, looks like neither of us are getting what we want this Christmas, Timmy? And so, it is like painted far from Christmas Story, which I think extremely racist, badly aged bits aside.
Yeah.
They were trying to show at the end of that movie that it isn't what you're actually having, it's the being together.
Yes.
And coming around to mock a race that you don't like. That's
as
what
a family.
Christmas Story, as a family.
Yes.
And that's passing that down from generation to generation, just the hate in your heart. But the bit about that was meant to be that it doesn't matter where you are, even in this restaurant, we're all together. But here it's like, oh no, you didn't, you fucked up. Oh, you went Denny's on Christmas. Oh no. I mean, I didn't go to Denny's. I went to a few other places. We call them joints, actually, in the States.
In the States, yeah.
We hit up a few joints, and then what I would do is I would go into the joint, and I'd say, this is my favorite spot, and then I would order something, and I'd take a bite out of it and go, this is church for me. And that's my American experience in the States, as they say, vis-a-vis food. Did they actually get food in the end, or did they just make fun of them having out?
We just get a kind of, we get a bit of that.
What do you mean you don't want a cup of coffee for Christmas dinner, little boy? Come on.
And he takes his son home, reads him a Christmassy bedtime story, and the kid's like, wait, what are all these words? What do they mean? And Tim's like, mate, come on.
This one means, this one means, and this one means, oh.
So the kid is like saying, Dad, what's clattering? What does noise mean? What are sounds?
I don't know what a clatter is. Like, I'm sorry, if it's onomatopoeic, you don't get a description, child. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Figure it out. But thankfully, an example comes clattering, and we hear some clatter from outside on the roof. On the roof, Kevin.
On the roof.
Up on the
What's
roof.
clattering up on the roof? What could it possibly be? Never mind, boy, with your too many questions. I want to go because it's time for Tim Allen to stand your ground. Tim Allen, he's coming out here and he knows the laws in his state. So he's here with 2 guns and he's got his extra guns in his back pocket as well. And the boy has his guns as well. And he's like, get off the roof, Mr. Clatter.
2 guns, 1 jacket.
The only clattering is going to be when all the magazines and cartridges come out of our fast-firing guns and they fall on the ground and I go, hit me. And no, Tim, point away from Santa. That's how you reload.
Unfortunately, Santa has been compromised to a permanent end by Tim Allen here.
He does kill him, right?
Well, that's up for debate, I think. He startles him. He startles Santa, and Santa tumbles off the roof.
Come on now, Sam. He killed him.
He killed him. He
got him dead to rights. Big moment for Tim, though, isn't it?
Oh, taking out Santa? Yeah.
I mean, second best thing to killing God, his ultimate goal, is killing Santa Claus. You know, he's done a number there, hasn't he?
And so that was actual Santa who has been killed. There's not much grief for Santa from anyone, really. We get to, Santa's home later on. No one's like, oh, that's shit that Santa's dead. Everyone's just like, right, come on, next one.
You're English, so you know what Doctor Who is.
Yeah.
You know, so do people get sad when Doctor Who dies? Or are they like, huh?
Yeah, I mean, well, he never dies, does he?
Well, that's what they're kind of implying here, aren't they? That Santa kind of regenerates, although he kind of seems like he plants a seed and he slowly morph as opposed to just become.
If you do pause as he's falling off the roof, you can see that it is Christopher Eccleston. But
that's all the work he could get. Sad.
Unfortunately, there were some disputes behind the scenes. But Santa's dead.
Yeah, and the boy no-sells this. He doesn't care. He goes, it is Santa. You have killed him.
Again, a child witnessing the murder of Santa is like, okay, well, come
check
on,
him
Dad.
for money.
Where is skin?
Pat him down for ammo and supplies.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a card on him. And the card is very explicitly clear here. It says, Tim Allen, you have to strip the murder victim. Do it now, Dad. Take off Santa's clothes and let's see his little cock.
Yeah, well...
Come on, let's do it. Go, 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 go.
So the instruction is, if something should happen to me, put on my suit, the reindeer will know what to do. But before we get to that, a fucking ladder has appeared. And so the boy is going up onto the roof to see all these reindeer who are hanging out.
Whoa.
And their reindeers are all like farting and stuff. They're a laugh. They're just like, they're just bloody blokes, mate. We all
bloody
piss,
blokes.
shit and fart and have sex, so it's fine.
If Coca-Cola is a horse, Pepsi Max is a farting, bantering reindeer, isn't it? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the good thing is we don't have to see Tim Allen stripping Santa and looking at his Santa penis, because Santa just disappears and leaves the clothes behind.
Yeah, we don't see him like dissolve or anything. He's just kind of like there 1 minute, gone the next.
Yeah.
So,
That's sort of video game death where, you disappear, but you leave any essential stuff to pick up behind you.
And there'll be a little red X on the map, so there will be, to indicate where it is. I will say, though, reindeer on the roof, RIP your tiles. I'm not sure what the insurance men will get their teeth into first. The man you've killed or the roof being fucked up by hoofed mammals?
It's hoof versus roof, and, only one of those are going to come out on top.
I know whose side I'm on, Sam.
Yeah,
I don't know about you,
Now, in trying to get his son out of Santa's sleigh, Tim Allen accidentally says, let's go, which is what all the contestants on any American reality show ever say all the time, and it makes it very easy for me to not have sympathy for any of them having anything go wrong with them, because everyone's like,
I'm not taking this anymore. Let's go.
Let's
go. Well, I would swear, but obviously, go. You know what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
I mean, the boy does guilt him into it a little bit, though, doesn't he? Because he's like, come on, Dad, be Santa. Wear the dead man's clothes. You can do it, Dad. And he's like, I don't know. It's like, it's all like cold and weird and shit. And he's like, you never do what I want to do. And he's like, no, I'm doing it. Come here, look. And he's like, putting on dead man's pants.
Dead man's clothes, Daddy.
The underwear as well. I'm sure, yeah. What? Fuck me.
Kevin, I fucking loved the beautifully rough 90s screensaver-looking CGI. I mean, that is cracking.
Good shit.
Yeah.
And you know what it is? It's they know it looks a bit rough, and they counter it with going, look how amazing clouds can look in real life to kind of offset that. You know, if you had smooth CG, you just get your random blue, black sky, whatever it is. Here, they're like, look at the majesty of the stratosphere, because we really can't give you much else.
No, but I really loved it. I love any effects that I feel like I could conceivably pull off today. Always makes me feel nice to see that in a movie. Like, I could do some of this myself.
Could you now?
Not to brag.
Could you now? You also could have put in Nightmare. You also could have put Night of the Living Dead, the entire audio at the end of that episode. But you didn't do that either, did you? Because Santa Claus isn't real.
Yes, and I'm a coward. I thought, Kevin, the full audio of I downloaded the entire audio of the film. And I put it there in the project. And it sat there for about 10 minutes of me thinking, do I do this? And I decided against it.
Oh, come on. The fans want the Chaplin cut. It's been 10 years of me looking at people send me tweets going, you should have done this joke, and me going, shut the fuck up. No, why would you send that to me? And this time I was agreeing with them, Sam.
Yeah, you should have done it.
It's fine, because it's Christmas Day, and you've ruined Halloween.
Should I put the entire audio of Night of the Living Dead at the end of this episode on the Santa Claus?
It would be a nice little Christmas present. It's all I'll say. And it would, again, be allowable by the law.
But all the zombie noises replaced with, just...
Who's this misshapen ghoul? Why, it's Tim Allen. I did laugh when he referred to the reindeers as potentially being dangerous because they have key Lyme disease, mixing up the devastating disease and the devastatingly delicious pie topping.
Yes. Honestly, throughout this film, I laughed quite a bit at some of Tim Allen's goofs. He was quite funny in this.
He's got dad jokes.
Yeah, he's got decent dad jokes. Now, we essentially get a bit where he's going from house to house here doing Santa stuff, and he picks up Santa's sack, and it makes him fly.
Yeah, like Mary Poppins.
He says, when his son's like, Dad, you're flying. He's like, it's okay, I'm used to it. I lived through the 60s. Basically saying, drugs, and it's fine.
That's for mum and dad, that joke.
Yeah, exactly. That's one for mum and dad.
But you're wasting that joke on them because they're high as a kite on LSD in the cinema.
Stanley Stander got up because there's a big doggy in this house. The first house he goes down, there's a big...
Was he was all right with the weird animatronic gurning reindeer then?
He was fine with the reindeer. I think they went all the way through the uncanny valley and came out the other side into being not a threat at all. Yeah, but the effects of him going into the chimney, the kind of wobbly, it's kind of like
click and drag him into it.
Yeah, I reckon you can do that on PowerPoint now. Some of this stuff, and it's beautiful to see. I really like it.
Because I haven't seen this movie since I was 6 years old, and ominously, while secretly promoting our Patreon content, I was like, maybe this explains some things about me. It does explain my love of D-tier special effects and plugins.
It's a Tim and Eric vibe from some of these effects.
Sure is.
Yeah. I can kind of see that they might have been influenced by some of this sort of shit. The Santa sack auto fills. That's pretty cool. It's all magic. Every time you get to a house, you just get a new full sack.
That's how capitalism works.
Yes. And he can magically go down tiny chimneys. So even if you don't have a chimney in your house, a fireplace will emerge on the wall, which again, for children, feels like a nightmare situation. But I was going to say,
because I imagine now in modern times it'd go through a YouTube playlist of fire crackling on your television.
Yeah.
And you come in during one of the ads.
That like the ring.
Yeah, I don't like that. No. Get out of my house, you deadbeat. House number 2 he visits, there's a sleepy girl there she's rude to, and just to put over what a no-good divorced yuppie this son of a bitch is, he's like, I don't like milk. I'm lactose intolerant, and
boo.
so I'm boo. And like, me as a premature baby who sometimes has difficulty processing dairy, I hate that about myself, and I wish I was cool like all the kids drinking large. I can have a small glass of milk.
Yeah. We're both premature babies, aren't we, who have issues with milky tummies.
Way more premature than you, though, mate.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, I was tiny, mate. Like, you know. There was questions as to whether the sperm and egg had actually fused when I came out. That's how premature I was. They thought I was disparate. They thought I was disparate fluids.
Yeah, very competitive, the premature babies as well, aren't they? That's one of the...
I found out, though, this is the thing, like, I found this out as, like, a great little Christmas surprise a few years ago.
Yeah.
Where, like, I just figured it's because I'm getting older that if I eat, like, a load of chocolate or a load of cheese or, like, a pint of milk or whatever it is, I'll get farty, I'll get gassy, but I just thought that was me reaching my mid-30s. But, like, randomly at Christmas a few years ago, my mum just turned to Joe and went, "Oh, you've probably noticed that Kevin's, like, lactose intolerant and he'll get an upset stomach if he eats too much chocolate." Like, talking about me like I'm a dog, basically. And I was like, when was this? Like, if I didn't get a wife, were you going to share this information with me? Like, what, on my deathbed when I had too much pizza and I had to go get put in a grave?
Right, so Tim gets out of this house and they're going about doing their Christmas deliveries. And he, I think, has just accepted that this is a mad dream / mental episode. He's saying, when I wake up, I'm getting a CAT scan, which, I mean, that's a pretty funny line from someone who's dressed as Santa flying around.
Did that get Stanley's dander up? Does he hate that?
Because the word cat, he was like, no.
He's more of an MRI man himself.
And Tim's asked to go home, but of course, the reindeer, they take him to the fucking North Pole, don't they? Because they fucked up the sat-nav or something, so they go the wrong place.
Do you get nostalgic as well for when the North Pole used to have, like, ice and crystals in it as opposed to, like, Costa coffee and water?
Yeah, it's nice to see,
days,
the proper old school North Pole, mate.
And I like as well that it's the mid-90s, so we got, like, aspirational technology. So it's like, here's the North Pole, but it's got, like, a big television remote control. Sure, what's that got on? It's probably 100 channels, has it? Jesus, all sorts.
Oh, it's got a little underground car park that brings... It's like the Batcave. It, like, takes you down into, the secret underground North Pole lair.
Is it shit that, like, no heartless corporation would want to actually do that now? There was probably a point in the 90s where someone's like, maybe we should put, like, a big kind of underground car park and a big... And now that's just all... It's hot. It's like a hot bath. It's not... We don't want... It's... No. That's all right.
How did you feel about the children playing the elves as a thing? Is that...
So,
yeah.
Now I know it's the Santa Claus 2, not this movie.
Right.
But apparently during filming of Santa Claus 2, Tim Allen lost his patience with the children who are acting.
Okay.
And famously screamed a big F-bomb in front of all of them and stormed off set because they kept ruining the takes. All I'll say is these kids aren't great.
Sure.
Yeah. And I don't know why. I think I do know why. But just generally speaking, anytime you present me, like, not just like a child, but like a child who's like, hello, like literally, like you can see the parents like pushing them with a stick on.
Yeah, come on.
We've mortgage payments to make. Come on, be a star.
Yeah.
And the kids are like, I'm 1800 years old. I've seen the rise and fall of all civilizations. Humankind is destined to repeat its mistakes. That's the folly of man. Yay! Good job. That's a wrap on Charlie, everyone. That's a wrap on Charlie.
There we go.
Yeah, these are meant to be ancient elves.
Yes.
I would have been less freaked out if they're like, yeah, we just got a bunch of random kids and put them in the North Pole. That's less creepy than this.
Yeah. Did you recognise Bernard, the guy playing Bernard?
He had big, on to bigger and better things energy, which could have meant literally anything as a slightly older child star in the mid-90s.
He's David Krumholtz, who is in loads of stuff. Just go on his Wikipedia or IMDb. It's just in loads loads of stuff. He's in loads of stuff. You'll know him.
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. I've seen 3 pictures of him. He looks like 3 different lads.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no wonder he was in the old action business. That's very good.
Yes, yeah. So he's here.
Had me tricked.
He's a slightly older boy, so he can do a bit of acting here and kind of get away.
He's
with-
allowed to.
Yeah.
I think he's a prick.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, he's meant to be like the kind of head elf, but not really, and he's a bit of a
And he's
jerk.
seen Santa die so many times, he's kind of numb to it.
Well, this is the thing, right? We've got this
No salsa, like.
room full of elves who love Santa, or at least
Do they?
know, or at least they know Santa. He's their fucking boss, and none of them are grieving for the fact that Santa has died and been replaced by Tim Allen. No one's
one
bothered.
seems like bothered by the fact that, you know, if you kill Santa, you become Santa. Okay. But no one seems to be remotely concerned about the great deal of agency and choice that you seem to have in the matter, because it's not like he's like immediately like, I must be Santa, like his memory's murdered, get out of my mind, liquid claws. Instead, he's just like, oh, I don't know, I mean, can I go home? And everyone's like, it'll be fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You've seen it a million times. So yeah, they kind of say some ominous things to him, like, get your affairs in order. We'll see you in 11 months.
I mean, what a mad policy, by the way, that if you kill Santa and find his corpse, you can put his clothes on and become the next Santa. There should be like a Pope style, you got to find some way of getting the new one in. That's not,
it's
whoever killed him gets to be him.
Yeah, because that kind of feels like, is that a fitting punishment? Are we admitting that Santa is like a curse, essentially? Or are you going to find, like, I'd see this and think some fucking Christmas freak like Mick Foley, the wrestler, is going to be I'm going to kill Santa. I want to become him. Because I'm pretty sure, you know, it's a sweet gig for a lot of people. Like, if, you know, if the web was closing in on you and you were wanted for certain crimes, I'd go murder Santa. What's one more crime? This one, you get a fucking carte blanche in North Pole. 11 months of the year, you're under lock and key. No one can get you.
Easy peasy. And we do get a very quick explanation of this clause. The Bernard guy's like, oh, come on, mate, you didn't read the small print on the card, blah, 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 blah.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Not Santa Claus, Santa Claus. And it's...
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
I mean, Tim at one point mentions the idea of not believing in Santa, and all the elves are like, whoa, and they're all sad.
Well, will they all like cease to exist if he doesn't believe?
I don't really know how it works. And little Charlie has been fobbed off with like some fucking snow globe. Like, come on, kid, go play with this and leave us adults and child elves alone to get our uniform. Right. Tim Allen in a room with this elf girl, Judy.
1,200 years old, by the way.
Who's like, it took me 1,200 years to perfect this recipe.
Like tears in the rain.
And then the line from Tim Allen, I must say you look good for your age. And then her saying, thanks, but I'm seeing someone in rapping, like in another department. Just everything about this feels bad. Like, I know canonically she's older than him, but I don't like whatever the fuck this is.
No, and who was this for movie? That's what I want to know. Like, 'cause it feels like it's for paedophiles.
Yeah, but thankfully that's offset by a very good goof where Tim Allen is looking over a balcony going, hey, is that a polar bear directing traffic down there? And you hear a polar bear go, "Roar." Like you just hear like a little, yeah, that's fun. You don't need to see it. You just need to hear a little, "Roar." Oh, good stuff.
I bet you that was an improv and they were like, well, we're not going to make it, so just go, "Roar, roar." There you go, perfect, fine.
Yeah.
So the next morning, he wakes up and it's just Christmas like normal.
Yeah.
There are presents that have been left there by Santa Claus, but it's not that there's no memory of it happening, but there is an assumption that because you're back home without remembering getting there, that you made it all up in your head type of thing. So what we then begin is a lengthy campaign of Tim Allen gaslighting his boy, where he's like, those things you saw didn't happen.
Yeah, but
Dad, they didn't happen.
But also Tim Allen himself doesn't believe that they happened. So it's more kind of like...
deep down.
Well, he has his doubts and he's spreading those doubts to his child. But he's got the red Santa Claus pajamas. Well, they're not necessarily Santa Claus pajamas. They're SC pajamas. His character name, Scott Calvin, but also Santa Claus, but also Sam Chaplin? Question mark.
Great. Does that mean that you are kind of more likely to become Santa Claus than me? Because they're not going to re-embroider the fucking pajamas for me, are they?
I mean, who could you become? Who's another famous KM?
Former WWE diva Crystal Marshall.
There we go.
I get to be briefly married to Bobby Lashley.
Wow.
Now. And
Lucky
he's
you.
the almighty.
He is.
Jealous.
I am quite jealous.
You're jealous. So what's that, Sam? Me and Bobby are just going to go hit the town. Oh, it's Christmas Eve. You got work on. Aw. Can't believe they brought you in like that. Bobby, I was just telling you, it's all right. You don't care.
So, it's Christmas. He's got the pajamas. The little boy has got this fucking skateboard scooter hybrid gift that I've never seen anything like that before. It looks like 3 skateboards stapled together with a handle. It's mad, whatever that is.
Feels like that is part of a campaign to prune one or more of the X Games.
Yes.
Like we're gonna merge them, you know, the services are gonna come together. We don't want that anymore. We think it's too much clutter, you know, no more scooters.
And Tim trying to explain himself is like, oh, I just got these pajamas from Judy at the North Pole, and the mum who's come to pick up the boy is like, oh, right, yeah, all right, mate, okay, great.
I hate you, Tim Allen.
And he's in denial. He's like, this is all a dream. I don't even wear pajamas. I sleep buck naked, which led to some confusion as to whether it's buck or butt, but it's a buck is the old. They're both correct.
Butt naked is much funnier than buck naked.
Yeah, but I think one came first. Buck naked came first, but then people misheard it and it became butt naked.
Butt naked's way better. I'm sorry.
You got your butt out.
You know?
You got your. That's.
It is.
Yeah, that's why
it's funny. You say buck naked, it makes me think I have to go pee somewhere wood and cold.
Yeah,
you know,
gross.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like, you know. Yeah.
I'm glad we never had, and this is not a reflection on my dad, by the way, but never had career day at school where you bring in your crusty old dad to come and talk about what he does.
As a son and former teacher, this was like something that I never quite understood as a concept. I mean, I'm sure it has to actually happen in America because it's shown so much in the media, but like no one's gonna like all be free on one day, all agreeable, you know, to come in for this exact 40-minute period, and you, the teacher, have to tell, hey dad, shut the fuck up, there's a war veteran coming up next, no one cares about your pottery business. Like, you know, that's a like, you and I have run stand-up nights that have went over. I mean, that's with the best of intentions. I don't know how you bring in a bunch of dads and mums and go, hey, blowhards, you're really important. Impress a room full of the most easy-to-impress people you will ever come across in your life. And they'll be like, blah, 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 I'm on the road a lot.
But little Charlie comes up to explain what his dad is. It's like, my dad is Santa Claus. And everyone laughs at him. You fucking idiot, mate. Your dad's not Santa Claus. And Tim's trying to do damage control.
And then the one boy in the back, he's like, he's Santa. If I kill him, I'll become him. You know, that is, you got to be careful. You can't just announce Santa's here, Princess Diana's here, or any other beloved, let's call him, target. That is honestly what it is. You're playing with fire here, little boy, and I'm surprised you're doing that, playing with fire, considering the lengths that your fathers went to gaslight you.
Yes, and then one of the other dads was a firefighter talking about the dangers of fire, basically.
And I will submit to you, Sam, this is an issue, and maybe the words need to be had. This is not a 3 parents and the principal meeting in the office issue. Come on now.
No.
No, come on, 3 parents?
No. Well, it's just an excuse for Tim Allen to wail on psychiatry again and have a go at Neil and just be
the principal's like, nice.
I did wonder whether the rest of the movie was just going to be Tim Allen trying to gaslight his son into not believing his own lived experience. And it is for a bit, but not the entire time.
It's a good chunk of this movie. I thought the twist would come at the end where on Christmas Day and his son doesn't know what's real anymore. And then he's like, oh my God, how will I untangle this? Psychiatry. Oh, it's a Christmas miracle.
And the mum and Neil are like concerned about whether Tim spending time with Charlie is the best thing for him.
Sam, let's call it what this is. It's a good old-fashioned post-Christmas deprogramming. Which, I think everyone has potentially got that on their life story if you hang on long enough.
Yes.
You know, if you're 14 and you're writing that list, you're going to get that come to Jesus moment eventually. They will break you.
Yes. And Tim's response here is to talk to Charlie, just be like, yeah, mate, no, it is real, but let's shut the fuck up about it. All right, let's just keep on the DL. All right.
It's daddy's secret, like his 1,200-year-old mistress that he has. Okay, so we don't talk about that with mommy and stepdaddy. Okay.
I didn't see this going the way that it does because the next morning or whenever this is meant to be, Tim wakes up and he's got a beard and a belly.
Yeah, my thought on this. I remember this happened. This is kind of the main thing about it.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it was a kind of that's the movie, as in he slowly transforms into Santa Claus and is infected.
Yeah.
It's literally like around half of the movie is the kind of sad stuff with the family and the kids, and then he's just Santa Claus.
He's just got the big beard.
Physically, at least, yeah.
He's physically Santa shaped. Fucking out, him blaming it on a bee sting really made me fucking laugh. Like, that's an amazing improvised excuse.
I'm going to use that at the end of Christmas. Damn festive bee came in. He was drawn to all the cooked meats on the table, and he bloody stung me in my arse and torso. Bastard bee. Yeah, they have all these Hollywood phonies being like, can I have a salad? I'm like, fuck no, Christmas, hot fudge sundae.
Yeah.
My tummy hurts.
Yeah, Tim's just ordering loads of desserts, but he has the fudge on the side, like they have the salad dressing on the side.
For dipping.
For dipping.
Good.
And then we get the pitch for the Total Tank. Tank.
World of Tanks infects even classic Disney movies now. That is how widespread its marketing is. But yeah, Santa in a Panzer, and this is when we get the first kind of snippet that maybe Tim's mind has been altered by becoming Santa Claus, because he's really up in arms about the idea of Santa being in a tank, you know?
He didn't do that. He didn't look like that. Those aren't what the elves look like. They've got sparkly dust on their cheeks. All right, mate, stop talking about how much you love the fucking elves. Just give it a rest.
We know what it is at this point now. He's an undercover rep for the Coca-Cola Corporation, and he doesn't want to see the brand tainted. Let's be honest, Sam. Santa in a tank is a bare Pepsi Max move.
Yeah. Oh,
he'd be in a big blue tank, shooting 2-liter bottles of Pepsi at you, breaking down the fucking wall.
They do some fucking damage, those 2-liter bottles fired out of a tank. My God.
Bang, bang, bang.
The boss, or at least whoever's leading this meeting, taking Tim outside and just be like, mate, just see a fucking doctor or a shrink or whatever, sort his... Like, the approach to mental health here, like, something's seriously gone wrong with Tim, and just like, just fucking sort your shit out, all right? Just fucking do something about yourself, all right? I don't care what it is.
Day off, man. Nice.
Sort it out.
Post-Christmas day off. Imagine that. That's amazing. I remember when I was teaching, I came back, you know, it was like my first time teaching after Christmas. Or my first year teaching, and it was after Christmas. And I was like, oh God, this is going to be a particularly tough mental block to get over.
Yeah.
Going back to school after Christmas, and you're a teacher, and the central heating broke down, and I got the day off.
Hey.
And that was probably the best day of Christmas that year. It was so good. And he's got a nice little day off now. Very good. Off you go to the Christmas doctor.
Who essentially says, look, you've gone grey, you've put on a lot of weight, but you are healthy as an ox. You're very
It's basically the
healthy.
doctor that Joe Rogan goes to, essentially. Like, you know. Yeah, you've eaten all this wrong shit, and you look like you're about to die, but you are actually the peak of what a human can be. So you got that going for you.
The fucking heartbeat playing Jingle Bells, like...
Okay. How can you say he's the peak of human health and he's got an arrhythmia?
Well, but it's a
Sort
jaunty
out.
arrhythmia. It's an arrhythmia with a tune to it.
Sam, okay, it is a festive murmur, I'll give you that, but it's still a cause. He should have been referred to cardiology. He shouldn't have been let out the door.
No. He's fully transforming into Santa, and therapist, psychiatrist, jerkwad stepdad Neil sees this Santa version of Tim and is like, oh God, here's my card, call me. And I'm like, come on, mate, that would be a massive conflict of interest. You can't be getting any kind of help from, you know, your ex-wife's new partner. That's, you know, look, we're all trying to get new clients, sure, but that's not gonna work. Come on, get real.
So he gets a big old delivery now because he is Santa Claus, which means that he's personally responsible for all of these gifts.
Yes.
I just want to say, when they have a bit where he's walking around looking all sad and he's rocking them tan pants and that turquoise jacket with the white hair and beard, that's a fucking look right there.
Cool look, yeah. Pretty
That's
good
me
look.
when I'm retired, is I'm going to look exactly like that.
And he's got the list, and he's got to determine who's naughty and nice, and he's walking down the street. And the good thing is that Tim Allen as Santa can still be a pervert to young women. Like, that's reassuring that the Santa stuff has got to him, but there's still ultimately divorced dad underneath all of that. Like, it's still there.
Yeah, you can't remove that energy. There's nothing that's going to get rid of that. The weird thing is though, that everyone seems to like it.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, hey, Santa Claus, yeah, sure, whatever. Woo! Right, Kevin, I sent you a picture earlier.
Yes.
It was the moment when Tim Allen shaves his beard and dyes his hair, but he's still sort of Santa fat. Now, I sent you this picture. I will post it on the socials when we launch this episode. But my theory is that he looks exactly like Bernard Manning at this point, which is very distressing. I thought he was going to immediately go and do some Rude and Blue / racist material.
I thought he had Jamie Oliver. He had the look of satisfaction on his face, a kind of an impenetrable smugness that had fallen over him for the job well done.
But whatever it is, the look of Tim Allen with it's incredible.
There's a reason why they don't linger on that shot for a while, because it is kind of distressing. Like,
it's too much. It's too much. And the beard comes back quickly, so that's fine.
Mercifully, it lasts not long at all. So we have mom and stepdad again trying to kind of get through to the boy, but also to each other. And they reveal that they both have traumatic cease and desist of Santa Claus belief moments from their childhood, including the therapist finding out Santa isn't real when he's 3.
Yeah, because he didn't get his weenie whistle.
No, give the boy the weenie whistle.
But with that, they're having these like traumatic Christmas memories of how, sad it was to stop believing. And then they're like, right, well, let's take away Tim Allen's visitation rights, because that is what's correct here.
So sad.
Yeah.
Like, this is where the time frame of the movie, because I know like a year, I guess, does pass between, because we get 2 Christmases in this movie.
Yeah.
So I'm all right to believe that he spends like a period of 6 to 9 months where he's not allowed to see his kids just wandering around looking like Santa, flirting with people.
I think so. Yeah. Although it's fine. Like, the hearing has happened and his visitation rights are suspended, but he can spy on them through their window. I thought that was going to be the end of it, but then he just fully knocks on the door and like comes in. So, fine. He can do what he wants. Who cares about these visitation rights? He's barged in, and I mean, the snow globe does the snow globe magic. Bernard's back.
No, I didn't know that snow globes were an inherently magical thing. I just thought that, you got to treat them with respect, because that liquid is probably going to kill you if it comes out and makes contact with you.
Well, maybe the magic is any of the liquid seeping out and, going up them nostrils. I think that might do some of that. Now, the whole Christmas gang, Charlie, Tim Allen, and David Krumholtz, have all disappeared to do Christmas stuff. And the mom, stepping outside, doing some of the worst distressed mum acting I've ever seen, where she got, Charlie, that's it.
She's glad.
Your son's been stolen by Santa Claus Tim Allen.
That's an abduction right there.
Charlie.
Come on now. I don't believe that you could lift up a car with, that mother adrenaline that comes when the child is in danger. She's not God. She's missing it. She needs a shot.
Yeah.
Come on. So it is kind of ghoulish, this whole bit, because they're like, cutting to the police and they're like, a man dressed as Santa Claus has abducted a child.
Gonna fucking take him out.
Yeah, like, let's go kill Santa, because this guy, as a kid, I'm like, oh no, they've made a mistake about Tim Allen. But as an adult, I'm like, oh Jesus, imagine that. Like, someone dressed as Santa going around abducting children.
Come on, let's get him.
Get Batman, Jesus.
Meanwhile, up in the North Pole, they've got a fireproof Santa suit for not really any reason.
Yeah, this is because this movie came out in the 90s, and this ain't your mama's Santa Claus.
No.
So we get a sequence where we get like basically like Q and Bond, he gets like Santa gadgets. And then we get like a bit where he walks in slow motion in his shiny new latex Santa suit. And are they playing Kiss? They were like rock music plays. I'm like, oh, this is forgettable. So I'm like, oh, it's probably Kiss then, right?
The subtitle said rock music playing, and that's what I took it as. But they do a little dance to it. They do,
They do.
They're all walking together. They do a little dance.
Do a little clip-clop dance.
The police are arresting random Santas trying to track down Tim Allen.
Breaking into their homes, taking them downtown. And we do have a lot of gizmos for Santa. And this was... for the most part, I thought this movie was aging very well in my mind in terms of I was feeling festive. It was helped along by a lot of adjacent festive stuff that was happening anyway.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is the early 90s kind of what we were given in lieu of heart and character development and growth, because the boy is reunited with Santa Claus, who is his father. Yeah. And it's meant to be this like, you love Christmas now, you love me, your son now, you listen to me, we're bonding. But instead it's like, oh my God, Dad, you've got all the new thing. And look, in the Santa sleigh, there are buttons that give you cookies. And also hot chocolate, and the hat is a radio, and it's just very. It's in lieu of warmth. There is There are things.
There's things.
They are nice, but it's not really in the spirit of it. It's
not quite. I did wonder whether there were toys of Tim Allen the Santa Claus. I imagine there must be something somewhere. Some kind of action figure.
You get the knockoff. I'm pretty sure Santa Claus is in the public domain, right? That's why you can fight them Martians.
Now, he goes back to that same little girl who he said he was lactose intolerant to before, and she's like, you're fatter this year. And he's like, thank you. And then she's like, I got you soy milk. And I thought, Christmas has gone woke. That's a real shame. But she was listening to the whole lactose intolerant thing, and she got him a viable alternative. So that's actually... really nice and considerate.
I like Sam when I go into a cool, non-mainstream coffee shop and I'll have written on the wall, if you want soy milk, I'm going to kill your fucking family. And then, like, positive vibes only,
Yeah. Oh, there's no Wi-Fi here, mate. I'm going to kill your family. All right. So, I thought there's a scene where psychiatrist Neil that hangs up a little stocking on the fireplace. And I thought maybe he's come around to the idea that, Santa's...
a little Christmassy, yeah?
But really, it was a trap to get Santa into the house, to get the cops to fucking arrest the shit out of Santa. The cops literally arrest Santa. It's quite distressing to watch as a thing.
Like, we have seen in the last 20 minutes... Santa lose visitation rights to his only son. Santa get arrested quite aggressively by the cops with force. And also him abduct a child.
Yeah.
It's dark times for Santa Claus. I hope he gets some cool new stuff after this to make up for it.
A lot going on. The local children are very upset. They're like, let Santa go. No, he's a criminal. Right, and they take him away. Back at the North Pole, they discover that something's gone wrong with Santa, and it's time to deploy ELFS.
The elves. What's it stand for?
I think it's something flying squad.
Right, okay. It basically means there's more stuff. The elves have jetpacks now.
Yes.
And they're basically the Santa equivalent of the Black and Tans, which is when the primary kind of thrust of your political agenda has failed. You send in this covert paramilitary organization to kind of off the books do the dirty deeds that you want to be done. And,
yes,
Santa's been arrested as well, and he's been interrogated pretty heavy duty. And I was kind of worried at this point because imagine if they kill Santa and then you've got like cop Santa then afterwards.
Oh,
like,
no.
And he'd like give you a gift and then arrest you.
Yeah. Oh.
It'd be a dark Christmas for the robbers of the world.
Right. Place your bets now. Is there a film called Cop Santa or Santa Cop?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
You reckon?
I guarantee you there's Dog Santa Cop as well.
Santa Cop.
Sam, this is from the world that gave us Bone Alone.
Okay. You know what? I can't Cop Santa film. There is not yet a film, as far as I can see, called Santa Cop. So that's my pitch for next year.
Hollywood.
Yeah. Here we go.
Everyone be ready, because Christmas 2024, Santa Cop is coming to your town.
So these little elves with attitude, the Attitude Era elves are here. Like, we're cool elves. We've got some sass. They just They grab the little boy, they take the little boy, they bring the boy to the police. They're like, fuck you, cop.
How many times is this boy going to be abducted? I must have been traumatized. Like,
elves are sure to be like, we are not children, we are all adults, but we look like children. All right, little boy, come with us.
That makes it worse.
Yeah, loads worse.
Way worse.
But they tie up a cop, they shove a donut in that fucking pig's mouth, and then they just bust Tim Allen out of jail.
Out of the chokey.
Yep. And he just goes home. He brings the boy home to the new home with Neil.
I like that this is the good old days in the 90s where if you did break out of prison, they'd be like, fair.
Yeah.
You know, you did it, you know. I mean, we arrested you. We were within our rights to do that, but you have left of your own accord, even though we locked the door. So, you know, fair enough.
Right. I am joking, but I'm also not joking. I think if you can get out of prison, you deserve to stay out of it.
No. That's if you just leave, and then that's not fair. Because any old Tom, Dick, and Harry, you have to do it, but you have to wait till all 5 stars are gone.
Yeah.
Then you're
right.
all right.
Yes, then you're fine.
You know. But if you properly escape and you're gone for like a couple of years under the radar, come on,
write it off. I think that's fair. You passed that challenge.
I think we as a society, and it's good to remember this at Christmas, undervalue those who have escaped from prison.
Yeah, it takes a lot of, I'm going to say it, guts to
it does
to bust out of prison. I think that should be rewarded.
Why we'll never be as good as our fathers, Sam, because our father's generation broke out of prison.
Yes.
Our generation, we had drones bring us smartphones.
Kevin, we're imprisoned by our own fucking social media, aren't we? That's we're trapped in that, and we can't even bust our way out of that.
Hey, when you look up from your phone, why don't you take a look around, because you're probably actually going to be in Her Majesty's Royal Prison. Oh, what's that? A drone has dropped you in the latest model? Well, that's another life sentence, I guess.
Right, so the family...
You got a call to the stand. TikTok? Don't think so.
The mum is like convinced now because she's like, well, Santa's... sorry, she's an adult person, not a little child.
That's where he gets it from.
She's like, okay, well, Santa's busted out of prison, so he must be real. My ex-husband is Santa. I'm fully convinced.
Magic exists.
And he's like, little boy, stay with your mum and Neil. And he's like, but I want to go on there. He's like, no. You believed. He does. There's a bit here where it tries to have some heart, and it's like, you believed in me when no one else. And I'm like, this film didn't make me cry, and it could have done if it had really fucking tried.
I that's it, and I don't think there's any care there with that. It is very much by the numbers, where it's like, why is this bit heartfelt and sad? Because the sad, heartfelt music is playing, even though, like, I think that's what genuinely makes me appreciate movies that have actually got a bit of heart to it. Because even if it doesn't make you cry, it is easier said than done. And this movie tries to slip in this heartwarming, tender moment, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. This boy's been kidnapped 3 times. I do love, though, when the boy like tells, you know, his little piece to the stepdad about why he believes in Santa and all that. And then the stepdad's like, man, you know, you make one hell of a psychiatrist. And then the boy looks over at Santa Dad and goes, thanks, but I think I'm going to get into the family business. And the look of murder in his eyes.
Yeah.
Right. Blood ran cold.
Oh.
Get into the family business?
Wow. Oh, God.
Yeah, what else is it going to be? You're going to be an elf.
I've just twigged. Yeah, I've got to kill my own father to become my father. Oh, Christ.
All right there, Oedipus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, thank God your stepdad's a psychiatrist, because you're going to need to figure that shit out.
Is that what happens when you get a stepdad? You suddenly become cool with the idea of killing your other dad because you've got a backup? Like, is that it?
Kevin, have you ever been given a present that is someone burning something for you? I've never. I mean, that's a real niche question.
No, never something that's been burnt.
Destroyed?
No.
I will destroy this for you as my gift to you.
My great pal Paddy back home gave me a copy, or what appeared to be a copy of Hulk Hogan's extra bad autobiography.
Sure.
The one that's like it's literally called like Forgiven, or I did nothing wrong, or whatever it is.
Oh, is it like post-controversy? Yeah.
Post bad stuff. And I was like, and then I opened it up, and he had meticulously shaved out a hole for a hip flask that was filled with delicious liquor inside.
Cool. Yeah.
So he did give me the best type of double take gag because he did destroy something. And I was like, how'd you do it? He's like, just use the old dissection kit scalpel. So he went, that was that was a long night, that was a good, he destroyed something that I would have destroyed in a way that disguised another gift. So that's the best type of destruction.
Yes.
Personally. But I wouldn't say it'd be a standard thing I'd go for, the destruction of something for Christmas. You want to be confident.
Yes, but the mum here destroys the custody papers by throwing them into a fire as a present to Santa. I think that's fascinating.
Does that work, though? Does that work?
Papers are burnt,
mate. If I burn the papers,
they're burnt.
Does the judge get like an alert on his phone? Oh, they've burnt those. Okay, we don't have to.
Nowadays, it's all backed up in the cloud, so you can't do dramatic gestures like that. But back in the day, like you could just burn the papers and then just visit the child whenever you want. That's fine.
So the old school divorce would have been just burn the marriage certificate, but now you'd have to download an app, scan a QR code, all this.
Authenticate
nightmare.
The whole thing. There's a bit where the cops swarm the house, and I was hoping they would just try and shoot Santa, but they don't. Santa just, gets away.
Santa, he gets away, and they're all like, duh. Like they're all just really into it, basically. And everyone gets their Christmas wish.
Neil gets his weenie whistle.
Oh, baby, I like the look of that weenie whistle, Sam.
Yeah.
That's good shit right there. And I think it was like Mystery Date. It was kind of like an archaic dream, a phoneless dream phone is what Mom wanted as well.
Yeah.
So he does Christmas.
Yes.
He comes back, and then the boy gets taken away again.
Yeah.
Give him a coat at least.
He shakes the snow globe. Santa comes. He's like, okay, you can come. Well, he's like, I forget. Santa comes. He's like, well, you can come with me on an adventure, but you got to ask your mum. And she's like, okay. And off they go on an adventure.
I genuinely was mouth agape that at the end she didn't go, oh, and another thing, you little Mr. Weenie Whistle, I'm divorcing from you. You're shit. Come here, Santa. And they're like, my mom and dad get back. No, they don't get back together.
No.
And I was kind of happy about that.
Yes.
That it was just... Because there was a lot of media when we were a kid where it's like, oh man, I know it sucks when your parents divorce, but when they just randomly get back together at the end of the movie, that's the greatest feeling alive, little boy.
Yeah.
I don't think many kids are given realistic expectations.
No.
Even though the boy was literally flying away on a magical sack with Tim Allen, it was grounded in reality.
Despite that, Tim Allen is not right for you, and it's okay to divorce him and be with someone else who is right for you.
He's married to the job now, Sam, isn't he?
Yeah, well, exactly. He's got no time to be a husband anyway. The closing song, by the way, over the credits, I have no idea what that is.
Sad Christmas.
The keys seem to change every 30 seconds. It was a wild song experience. Can't remember anything about it, but it was very disorientating.
Yeah, it's the type of song at the end of a movie, particularly a Disney movie, that it's like the movie is over and kids start going, the movie is over. Like, it is desperately sad.
Yeah.
But I left this movie with, a great old holly jolly spring and nice.
It was fun. I had fun.
It was fun. It was dumb as hell.
Yeah.
I know the sequels are probably fucking atrociously badly aged. But Tim Allen as a bumbling dad who went once in the entire movie, so great restraint there on him. But he was good as a family comedy lead,
I'm going to say it. He was funny. It was funny in this. There were good jokes. There were silly bits that were not meant to be silly. Like the CGI provided some real chuckles for me.
I enjoyed my time with centre-right Seinfeld. It was good,
You got to hear both sides sometimes. No.
Both of the awful sides.
But yeah, I this is exactly what it says on the tin. You were right about it not having loads of heart. There's probably more of a soul that this could have had, but it's fucking streets ahead of National Lampoon's sack of dog shit. This is
really,
yeah. Because it's
is
funny.
that because it wasn't mean? Is that it?
It wasn't mean. It was mean to the profession of psychiatry, but other than that, it wasn't mean. It had a spirit of fun about it. And it was a laugh.
It felt like, there was definitely an attempt to make in a movie that, sometimes you get kids' movies and there's like the bit here or there for mum and dad. You're kind of like, all right, we're still paying attention.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it genuinely felt like they were trying to take everyone along for the ride at once. Maybe some of Tim Allen's little one-liners or asides who might have flown over a few of the kids' heads.
Sure.
But like, if you were a kid watching this, you'd be as drawn to the snot-nosed punk as you were to the divorced dad.
Yes. Yeah.
They're both equally fun and,
Yeah.
It is aged remarkably well. I was fully expecting this. But oddly, even though it's often considered and listed on the kind of most successful Christmas movies of all time, because this did big bank at the box office. And the reason that set was so fucking big where they were there for 5 minutes in the North Pole is because there was a lot more of these coming.
Right.
It doesn't feel like it's... Like, I guarantee we'll get a few people be like, this movie?
Yeah.
Even though it was like one of the number one movies of the year.
So I would say, interestingly, this reminded me of our reverse swirl film Elf quite a bit, which came after. I think there's a lot of things in this that, this may have set... I mean, there's probably things before this that also set a similar template. But, like, it follows that, Christmas film formula, and it feels Christmassy.
Yes.
Maybe it's more of an American thing in terms of people absolutely going bananas for this, or maybe it's just not got the same cultural cachet.
I think it's the fact that, old Tim Allen is a more controversial figure than Will Ferrell. And maybe Tim Allen, if on late night talk shows you didn't constantly compare Hollywood to Nazi Germany, maybe you'd have gotten that sweet Asda Primark deal that Will Ferrell is raking in atrocious amounts of money every year with.
By not even fucking showing up with those adverts. I mean, Jesus Christ. At least Bublé's putting in the fucking effort, mate, and,
the graft,
turning up.
But I think this was nice after a few years of controversial Christmas choices.
Yes.
This was fucking bread and butter, belt and braces, pure Christmas.
Yes. This is a Christmas film, and it felt Christmassy, and it was fun, and I had fun at Christmas, and it made me feel Christmassy. There's not much more that I can ask.
What more could you want?
Exactly.
Maybe for a slightly older generation, they might balk at the sheer consumerism and materialism that is the heart of this movie.
Sure.
And like, you think that a movie where like the main guy is like, oh, he's a heartless toy executive, and it's like, yeah, but like they never really do anything other than talk about all the great toys that they make. And how their business is booming. But on that note, Sam, on that festive note, I would like to know your Christmas star wipe rating for Tim Allen's The Santa Claus.
Okay, so this is interesting because I'm going to give it one rating, but I'm also going to sneak in a sort of secondary preliminary rating.
Okay.
But I think at Christmas, this is a 4-star wipe film.
Okay.
But I think, generally speaking, if we're all real, this is... So this is the actual rating here. It gets a Christmas buff, is what this does. But I'm not actually applying that here. I've overcomplicated this. 3-star wipes. 3-star wipes.
You heard it here first. Ho, 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 ho.
Oh, thank you for listening to this festive episode of Cinema Swirl. This episode was produced by Kevin, it was edited by me, Sam, and I also did the music. If you'd like to support the show, then patreon.com/Cinema Swirl is the place to go. If you want to follow us on the socials, we are at Cinema Swirl on Twitter and facebook.com/Cinema Swirl on Facebook. If you've got any questions, queries, comments, or other stuff for the mailbag, then send them on in to cinemaswirl@gmail.com. That's cinemaswirl@gmail.com. And please do continue recommending the show to your friends and anyone you think would like to listen to it. All right, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Three, two, one. Okay, ready to go.